Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Making It Personal is provided by Sarah Vocations Ministry. Learn more at joinserra.org.
Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. I'm Jean Till, and on today's show, we're going to be visiting with Loralee Chase. She is the new Executive Director of Intervisions Healthcare, our neighbor right here by Iowa Catholic Radio.
Wonderful, and the job she's doing and the new chapter in the life of Intervision, so we'll look forward to visiting with her as well. But here we are, pressing forward into August. Yesterday, the 8th, the Feast of St. Dominic, so Father P.J. McManus, I'm sure,
he'll be happy.
Celebrating as a former Dominican, but still with a Dominican soul in so many ways. And then today, St. Theresa Benedict of the Cross, one of the patronesses of Europe, Edith Stein.
What a story, yeah.
Edith Stein, her conversion from Judaism, still very much a Jewish Catholic Christian, but her legacy and the horror of the Holocaust and what she experienced there at Auschwitz-Birkenau, very vivid for me always each year, as I was fortunate for about 8 years to celebrate Mass there at the Dialogue Center, just off the grounds of Auschwitz. And so the Carmelites were very good to me, beautiful thing. That so just a shout out to them and our prayers for them. And that, again, we would come to our senses here in the light of war and bring the gospel of peace to bear in many ways. Celebrating today with Deacon Jim and Mary Houston, their 50th Golden Jubilee anniversary at St. Pius X Parish. The Mass will be the parish Mass tonight, and Father John Owusu-Ajaman will preach, and so it'll be a wonderful message. But that couple who, in their respective vocations, bless the sick, bring all God's mercy and ministry and get the message out. Deacon Jim, the director of our permanent diaconate program in so many ways. And then
and wonderful people.
That too. So there'll be a chance for us Catholics to party a little bit. And then up in St. Paul, again, the Diocese of Des Moines, with certain pride, Noah Smith and Chris Kinkor, both Dowling alums, will be making profession of perpetual vows in the Jesuit order, the Society of Jesus, at the cathedral there. And so congratulations to them, the witness that they give in religious life and the diversity of ways in which God's evangelical call goes out. So hopefully we can get them on in the weeks ahead and kind of learn a bit more about their story. But Noah, the brother of Father Nick Smith of our diocese also. So, but a man in his own right in full in Jesus Christ there. So
we just, Father Nick just spoke to the Sarah Club this last week and was telling us about his brother Noah. And of course someone said, well, why? I mean, you're a diocesan priest. Why would he go the Jesuit route and not come back and be a part of the diocese?
I've asked myself that question.
I know. I bet you have. But he said, he talked about just the difference in personalities and how, he's one way and his brother's another way. And he was so immersed at Marquette in that environment. And so we can always pray that he sees the light and comes back to the diocese. No, I'm just teasing.
No, but that richness of call that goes beyond. So excellent. And then tomorrow, I'll be fortunate, would be the young people at St. Patrick Irish Settlement for confirmation, kind of a confirmation tucked in there in the summer. Usually we think of the seasons of that, but that's a very significant spot in the life of our diocese as well. And then, wasn't there something last Thursday that took place, Jean? I don't remember, 4 years or something.
Yeah, John and I are celebrating our 4th wedding anniversry.
Congratulations.
We have been blessed.
To both of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And a different season of life,
It is a different season. It's a challenge, at times. We were both single for 30 years, and that means we were set in our ways for 30 years. And so just learning to be a part of that marriage covenant and grow together. It's been a challenge. It's been lovely. It's been a lovely challenge.
A lovely challenge. Yeah. And I just love being with you at the Monday Holy Hour at 5 p.m. at St. Ambrose Cathedral. You're often one of the readers and leading us in a meditation and that. And then John, too, his own voice. He has a really distinctive, both of you do. But do you think there's more letting be than maybe a couple who's 25 getting married? Or, what's the wisdom?
Because, when you're young, you're like, well, you're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And it's like, now it's like, well, whatever. Whatever, it's like, he has his things that he's very involved in so many church things, and I'm involved in other different church things. And so, our conversations at the end of the night are really about, what happened at church today? Well, what happened at church today? Yeah. So it really has been a blessing, and you blessed us and you married us. So it's all to your credit.
That Croatian custom of holding the crucifix when you made your vows, and you've known the cross too. So, but living it and making it lighter for each other.
Yes.
More often than making it heavier. Thank you.
Well, we're taking a break, and when we come back, we're going to be visiting with Loralee Chase, the new executive director at the Intervisions Healthcare, so stay with us for that. You're listening to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Spirit Catholic Radio Network. Welcome back to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. On today's show, we're visiting with Loralee Chase, new executive director. I don't know how long I can say that. Maybe 6 months. Intervisions Healthcare, our next door neighbor here at Iowa Catholic Radio.
And thanks for making the long trek to be with us in the studios,
5
Loralee.
steps.
Yeah, so good. And quite honestly, it keeps me humble. I'm not the first Joensen that your family has encountered, right? You get much more respect for one of my siblings.
That's right. Shout out for Coach Dave Joensen, like I bet the best swim coach in town.
And you said your son swam for him?
My son swam for him, and my son ended up swimming at Notre Dame. So Dave, put all the seeds in there to get him there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that diminished the expense for the family, right?
Yeah, it did. Definitely. Yeah.
Notre Dame tuition.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Dave there for that. Yeah.
Wonderful, Dave. So they're just kind of a little bouquet for you as you continue to take care of Mom and all you there. And people remember you very well in the Diocese of Des Moines. Are you native of the area and just kind of the whole faith piece of this? Was that something that's been there for you all along? Or
I grew up here, went to St. Augustine, went to Dowling. So that's always been part of my story is the Catholic education, Catholic schools.
How would people have described you in high school?
Oh man, that
we're not going to say
nerd.
how many years that was.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, definitely not part of the cool group. It's like bookie, maybe.
Were any of us part of the cool kids? I don't know.
I like school, so.
I was a nerd. I'll admit it.
Yeah, we're all nerds.
We actually, our senior calculus class, it was the era of the nerds. We have a photo of us with white shirts and black thin ties, and women and men both. And some of these women went off to Stanford and Caltech or MIT, but the nerd photo. So anyway,
right.
I was definitely, my bona fides nerddom.
Yeah, I could pull up some nerd photos with big permed hair and bangs and everything.
All right, we have a little reverie there. Now back to
and then, so I got married to my husband, John, 26 years ago now.
Congratulations.
And my kids, he graduated from Dowling as well. And my kids all went to Sacred Heart and to Dowling. I have 3 kids. My oldest now is 24. He'll be 25 in October. He graduated from Notre Dame in 2023 and then got married. So we have a new daughter-in-law in the family.
Did they meet in South Bend? Or?
No, they met because of COVID. So some good things come out of COVID. So they got sent home from their respective schools and ended up boating all summer because you could do outside things with no mask on. So they boated all summer and, Party Cove, I guess. They hooked up there and met each other and down at Lake Rathbun. So then they ended up getting married right out of college, which is wonderful. And he's back here in town. And works in mergers and acquisitions. And then my second son is 22, and he just graduated from Holy Cross College in South Bend, Indiana, and going on to grad school at Notre Dame. Holy Cross, little shout out there. They have these wonderful pathways to go to Notre Dame, and it's a great school. It's very small, 600 students. Mm-hmm. I
always wondered about that as I drove by. Yeah.
I think that their motto is like distinctly Catholic, but welcome to all, and it's distinctly Catholic. I mean, it's incredible. We loved it. Mm-hmm. And hence, my daughter just graduated from Dallas, and she's going to go to Holy Cross also in August.
Very cool.
So do you guys have like a condo there?
We should have done that. If we had thought of that in 2019, we would have just been geniuses, but no.
Yeah. And you made reference off air that your daughter-in-law joining the Catholic Church, and then you guys had a kind of a little big pilgrimage here. Yep. She
joined the church in this year at the Easter Vigil, and then we went and celebrated in Rome. So went through the holy doors and celebrated the Jubilee year, and it was amazing.
Wow.
What a blessing.
And Assisi and all of the things
we went to Assisi, and really, really cool.
Now, was Pope Leo away at Castel San Gandolfo?
No, he wasn't away yet, and we were still in kind of the frenzy and the excitement of the new Pope. So we did make it to his Angelus on that Sunday morning that we were there. So I feel like I met him kind of, even though he's really far away in the window. But
you two are close.
Yeah, we're close now.
Hi, Lauren. Did he speak English at all?
He didn't. He did not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. But as I've come to know you in my time as bishop, first you mentioned COVID time, the demands of being a business manager at Sacred Heart Parish at West Des Moines and things there, how things unfolded, and then your own discernment at Intervisions.
Yeah. So I was at Sacred Heart. I worked there for almost 10 years as the adult faith formation coordinator and the communications coordinator, and then eventually the business manager. And I loved it.
Those are different sides of the brain, right?
Yeah, business manager is really where I was always striving to get to that part. But before that, I was a stay-at-home mom, so you got to work your way in. Which stay-at-home moms are the whole package, right?
That's
you need
right.
all parts of your brain, right?
So then, but right before I found this position in Intervisions, I was kind of on maybe I called it a retirement. Maybe looking back, it was more of a sabbatical. So I was not working and not planning on working. In fact, I told God, just in case you're wondering, Lord, I'm not going to be looking for a job till September when my daughter moves out and we're empty nesters. And that's when I'm going to go back to work. Just so you know the plan, Lord.
And how did that work out for you?
Right.
And as someone said recently, listen, Lord, for I am speaking.
Yeah, right. So then in February, I literally said the words, I'm not going to be looking for a job, so if you want me to do something different, you're going to have to plop it in my lap. And then I left it at that. And then in February...
Plop.
Right. My really good friend sent me she called me and she said, I know you're not looking for a job, but I came across this job description, and every time I pray about it, your name comes to my mind. And it's happened so many times, I'm reaching out now and asking you to pray about it. And so I was like, shoot, Lord, I said September. and then like in just my discernment, I realized that I have to take a step forward. So I went ahead and I thought, I'll just apply. And if this isn't meant to be, then wonderful. I'll go back to the deck and read books for the rest of the summer. And so I applied. I went to 2 interviews, and then my husband and I had a trip planned with Father Hartshorn and Sacred Heart people to Our Lady of Guadalupe Shrine in Mexico City.
Beautiful.
And so 2 interviews.
It's good to specify that because some people refer to La Crosse, Wisconsin, right?
I have never been to that one. I would love to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had the 2 interviews. We go on this pilgrimage, and I'm sitting there before this image, the real image, not a replica, but the real image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And it dawns on me that she's the patroness of the unborn, especially those at risk for abortion. And I still had 2 interviews left to go, and I was like, wow. I mean, not only did it plop in my lap, but he's like smacking me across the face. Now, like, this is what you're doing next. So forget about your summer plans. You're going back to work. And so at that point, literally, I wasn't even nervous for the rest of the interviews. I'm like, clearly, this is God's will here. So here I am, and I love it. And I feel just so much joy and peace. So, it's truly the will of the Lord.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so he's initiated this, and not just a job, but a vocational aspect of who you are in so many ways. Why is this a good fit for you at Intervisions then? I mean,
well, since this is called Making It Personal, I have another story. So
wonderful. We love stories.
We do.
Okay, so my mom was put up for adoption in Italy. The town was called Brindisi. It's in the southern part, and the heel of Italy looks like a boot. So she was put up for adoption as an infant and lived in an orphanage until she was 7, and then brought over here with Catholic Charities and adopted here in Des Moines, Iowa. But she'd never been back to Italy since then, since she was 7. So this opportunity came up. Another pilgrimage from St. Anthony's and Monsignor Chido. In 2011, they were going to go to Italy and Rome, Sorrento, and then they're heading south to Terravecchia and Cariati, and all of these places where the South Side Italians that are here in Des Moines are from. So what an opportunity. Great. We're South Side Italians, but from Brindisi. So we decided to take my mom, and it was my sister, myself, and my son, and my mom. And
this is just so cool. I mean, to be able to go, back with your mom. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So,
did she recall any of the Italian? Could she from her childhood?
No, we thought she would. So all we had was her birth certificate, and it had the hospital name on it. And so we did a little bit of research to try and figure out if we could find her parents or something, anything, because we're going to spend 3 days down in Brindisi. And we couldn't find anything, but we thought, well, we're just going to go to the hospital, and we know she was born there, so we'll go visit there. So we go there, and Okay, so we go there, and we're standing on, we take a picture in front of the hospital, and I brought it here, and I keep it on my desk at work, so it's kind of my why, because it dawned on me that we're standing on probably the same cobblestones, this old cobblestone entryway that a woman back in 1946 walked across, pregnant, didn't want to have the baby, went inside, had the baby. So they had like a safe haven type law where you can have a baby and leave it and never, your name's nowhere. So we're never going to find her. But she went in there, had this baby, and then we're standing there on this exact same place where she probably walked past to go in there.
And crying.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be crying.
Yes. And if she didn't do that, I mean, later, it didn't dawn on me really until later when I looked at the picture that none of us in this picture would be standing here if she didn't have the baby. And so just that, giving each soul an opportunity to love and be loved, I mean, just having the baby, even if you can't keep it. So that's just like a small portion of our family in that picture, and the ripple effect.
Right.
Of
one
life.
The choices that people make, that ripple effect.
One life.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
No.
So I keep this in my office just as none of us would be here if it wasn't for one person deciding to go ahead and have that baby.
So Pregnancy Resource Center, Intervisions, the 2 sites still,
Yep,
right?
2 sites.
Yeah.
Yep.
Women coming in of various ages, are they ever accompanied by the male, the father, or?
They are. It's kind of more rare. I took some actual, just keeping with that making it personal theme, some actual clips of submissions from our contact form that came in this week, because the women are just really in crisis, like that we can't really understand. But here's a couple of them. I'm currently pregnant, unsure of how far along, but the father is a nightmare. I'm on the streets. I can't keep this baby. Another one. I took a pregnancy test and received a positive. I cannot take care of another child. Can I come in and talk about abortion? I already have 3 children. The youngest just turned 1. I had a positive home test, not really ready for or wanting another child. So these are the women that reach out to us. We bring them in free of charge, give them that ultrasound and medical information. And what we're really giving them, though, is that soft place to land when they're in this crisis moment, and an opportunity to take a deep breath and just calm down, get them out of that crisis moment. And hopefully they have a life, they can make a life-affirming choice.
And so they come in, they're definitely entertaining thoughts of abortion, many of them, not all of them, but...
most of them, yes, that we schedule for an appointment. Otherwise, we would refer them to an OB. So we really are trying to see those abortion-determined, abortion-vulnerable people.
Do they ever think that they were misled into coming through your doors, or?
Oh no! I mean, up front, we say several times in our scheduling script that we don't refer or provide abortions.
Okay. All right. So that canard that some people are perpetrating, saying, it's a bait and switch for that. That's not true.
No, it's not true.
There's great transparency.
Right. And I mean, even if they are considering abortion, many people already have an abortion scheduled, but they still need to come in and see us. One, we're hoping to work our magic while they're there, but you have to have an ultrasound. You have to make sure that baby's in the womb. You have to make sure your STD, if you have that or if you don't have that. So there's all kinds of reasons why you need to come in anyway, even if you have an abortion scheduled. So
does it ever manifest that there's an ectopic pregnancy or not?
Oh, yeah. That's just in the last month, we've had 2 ectopic pregnancies, and we send them, immediately to the emergency room because it's an emergency. But if they were to take an abortion pill and have an ectopic pregnancy, that's major, very dangerous. The cramping and the bleeding they'd experience, they would think was from the abortion pill, and it would be from actually an ectopic pregnancy from the fallopian tubes bursting or whatever. So we have 2 of those right now.
Okay, so obviously the medical necessity that's there. The staff is fully trained, nurses and doctors accredited, and all the right.
Yes, yeah. We have 2 full-time nurses and 4 part-time nurses, and our director of nursing is obviously a nurse. Our director of resources is also a nurse. Then we have radiologists that looks over all of the ultrasounds, and Dr. McKernan next door. So
So this is according to the standard of care. This is not just kind of some, fly-by-night operation. This is truly a medical locus here.
For sure. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So, Intervisions is doing well. I can remember blessing the altar at the place on Army Post Road and the grace that is there. So we look forward to hearing more. And, we think about the culture within Intervisions, but then the culture at large, which still there's the need for conversion of hearts and minds. And maybe you'll be providing us with some facts and things about where we stand in all of that.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a break before that. And when we come back, Loralee Chase will continue with us, Executive Director for Intervisions Healthcare. If you or someone you know is needing the services provided by Intervisions, go online, intervisionshealthcare.org. You're listening to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Spirit Catholic Radio Network. Welcome back to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen.
Thank you, Loralee, and really some compelling stories that you've shared with us as well. How the existence of Intervisions and the number of babies that have been saved, the big gala always at the first part of June, a number was given, but where do things stand now?
Yeah, so now I have an updated number of the babies saved through June. I don't have July yet, even though we're in August. We're not announcing that one, but through June, we've saved 2,372 babies from abortion. People that came in wanting an abortion and through our services have changed their mind and chose life.
That's larger than a lot of towns that Ragbri went through in the state of Iowa. So
what a blessing.
A community in its own right. Yeah. Is it a Catholic Christian entity, or people of all faiths are welcome, or on the staff themselves? I mean, the commitment identity of the people in their own.
Yeah, just not Catholic only, of course. Definitely Christian. One of the things that I've been most impressed with is the culture of the staff and all of the volunteers. One of our core values is strong faith, and they've certainly we do that. I mean, we start every single day with a prayer, and we pray for the women who are coming in by name and then by story. We pray for this takes like 20 to 30 minutes by the time we all go around and do our prayers. So we're praying out loud in the clinic before it opens. We start every meeting, of course, with prayer. And then you mentioned that beautiful chapel that you consecrated. We have Mass there on the first Friday. We also have a praise and worship it's on the first Wednesday. Praise and worship is on the third Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have a memorial service for all of those babies that we know that we lost to abortion on August 13th. So really cool faith-based organization.
Wow. And here we are on the Theresa Benedict of the Cross. But a different kind of Holocaust is taking place. I don't think, that's hyperbolic language to say that,
sure.
In our country, that even after the Dobbs decision, people are still availing themselves of abortion.
Right.
How is that happening now?
I think we're celebrating this week the heartbeat bill. But what I see
in Iowa,
mm-hmm. Yes, 1 year heartbeat bill. But what we're seeing, I think that the devil's just getting trickier. That's how I see it. While that's certainly saving some babies, now you can just order an abortion pill online from anywhere, Asia, California, get it here delivered to your mailbox in Iowa, and have an abortion by yourself at your house in your bathroom. So
scary.
Yes, and these are reported abortions. They're not reportable. So these numbers are just another way of deceiving that the devil's working, is that abortions aren't necessarily decreasing.
Unlike
reportable.
What the paper of record said,
right.
Abortions are going down in Iowa.
I mean, I don't think they are. Maybe surgically, but maybe reportable abortions are going down. But these abortions that are not reportable are certainly still happening. And in fact, on the paperwork that comes with the abortion pill, we've seen it. It says if you experience bleeding and find yourself having to go to the hospital, you do not have to report that you took this pill. It's not detectable. Just tell them that you're bleeding. We may never know the amount of abortions that are happening in this way. We used to compete with abortion centers. Now we're competing with the mailbox. We really want to get them in to see us before they take this pill.
Okay, and maybe knowledge for many of our listening audience, but how reversible are the taking of the pill?
The abortion reversal pill is at least 60% effective. We actually have 2 in process right now. So we had ectopic pregnancies last month. We also had 2 abortion pill reversal phone calls. So they call in and we get them in as soon as we can, because time is of the essence if they've taken that first pill. And we bring them in, we get them the progesterone right away. And then we keep monitoring them with ultrasounds, make sure that we can see that baby and the heartbeat for several months until they get into OB care. So we have 2 of them. I heard that one of the last ones that we brought in, the baby actually waved at us. So very, very consoling for the nurses. So I think that baby's doing good.
Well,
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know about the abortion pill reversal. So it's important to know that that's out there. If you have a friend that's regretting what they've done, let them know there's a hotline.
One of the many services provided by Intervisions and Loralee Chase, your executive directorship, the guiding them in this way, and it's truly God's mission and work. In this month of the Assumption of Mary and the Queenship of Mary, may Mary's mantle continue to unfold and inspire and be a source of grace for all of you. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
This has been another edition of Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. Thanks to our guest and to all of our listeners in Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, or wherever you may be listening to the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Spirit Catholic Radio Network.
You can hear Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen every week on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Making It Personal is provided by Sarah Vocations Ministry. Learn more at joinserra.org.